B.3 PHP and MySQL basic queries. In this video, I want to show you 3 queries for 3 different types. The first one, select statement. Second, insert statement. Third, update statement. No delete statement. Yeah, we do not need to, usually we do not need to do that. Yeah. All right, so let's look at the first select statement. In the example I included in the example folder, select db.php. Yeah. All right. Here I explain the important lines. Before we do the query, remember we do the DB connection part, right? Yeah. DB connection. Yeah. That's the standard. So every time we copy paste, right? So those lines, yeah. When we need to use this particular database, we always use those lines, right? So you can see here that include feature is important. Remember, we have that include file feature. Include. We can include that portion, that block, database connection, that block. We can do that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So first, we define SQL query statement as a string variable. Yeah. So this is the statement we want to execute. Yeah. All right. After that, we executed this query. Okay. Remember the connection object. This is the from that connection object. Yeah. Then we use this arrow operator. So in PHP, when we have an object, we want to call one of its methods. We use this object, not dot operator. Yeah, this arrow object. Yeah. All right. So we call the query method, and this statement has the parameter. Yeah. So we get result. Next, we need to process the result. So how do we process the result? Yeah. All right. First, we want to use an if statement to check if the result is empty or not. If it's not empty, so we look at the number of rows. If it's greater than 0, not empty. Otherwise, empty. Yeah. There is no result. Yeah. So we just output some message. If not empty, then we use a while loop to go through row by row. Yeah. So each row, you can see each row, we call that fetch underscore associate. So you can see we want to get a row of data using the associative array. Yeah. So here you can see associative array. $row. The field name is used as the key to access the value. Yeah. Yeah. Another field value we access using the associative array way. Yeah. So you can see, yeah, we get all the data in the rows one after another. While loop. Okay, the while loop. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. So you can do your data processing. So after you retrieve the values, you can do your data processing. Okay. All right. Then the last line, remember to close the connection object, because the connection object takes a certain amount of memory resource. If we do not need to use it, close it to release the memory resource. In that way, so your whole web application can run faster. Otherwise, so you use a lot of resource, but you waste it. So you do not need those resources, but you still occupy. Then you can make your whole web application very slow. Yeah. So that's the reason we close it. Yeah. All right. So that's the first example, select statement. Second example, also pretty simple and straightforward. Insert statement and update statement. Yeah, because these two pretty simple, pretty short, so I put them in one slide. Yeah. So I have two files for these two examples. The first one, insert db.php. Yeah. After the connection part, yeah, we have the same connection part. Okay. After that, you define insert statement like that. Yeah. So we insert a new row. Here you can see we do not specify product ID. Okay. We do not specify product ID because we use auto increment, right? In our definition, we use auto increment. So the DBMS will generate the ID by the incremental way. The previous one add 1. Okay? The previous ID number, then add 1 on top of it. That's the new ID. Yeah. So in that way, we do the insertion like this. Okay? After that, we execute the statement. Here, execution statement. This method returns true or false. If it's successful, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Okay? Yeah. So then we just output some message. Yeah. Okay. This is insert statement. Yeah. Definitely, you also need to close it. Here, I do not write that part. Yeah. I just want to look at the next example. Update db.php. Update. We do the similar things. First, we define update statement. Okay. Product 4, yeah, because this one, after the insertion, it will use the ID, product underscore ID equals 4. So we change the price number. Yeah. I changed to 9.99. Okay, yeah. So I define this update statement, then I execute it in the similar way. You can see the same way. Insert update, the statement different, but execution the same. Yeah. All right. So after that, now you can see we can do the basic processing. Basic processing. Okay. All right. So that's for our video part B.3. Yeah. After these two videos, B.2, B.3, we are ready to work on the last video, B.4, for our project 2, question 5.